How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 3. So, Majungasaurus has officially been added to the game, and so as a result, I wanted to build a little bit of an enclosure for it. It's been a while since I've done just like a regular enclosure build video that wasn't for the Mesozoic Media Park, so it's something I'd like to return to because it's always really fun. It's always just really fun to, try to be creative and just build a singular enclosures. So what I'm kind of thinking here is we'll make an enclosure that's similar to, I guess, sort of like elephant enclosures. Ooh, that's a good sand. That is perfect, actually. Dang, too bad I wasn't building the Mesozoic Media Park on here. That's a nice looking sand. It's way better than the root riddled dirt that I've been having to use. Anyway, yeah, we'll make an enclosure that's a little bit similar to maybe an elephant enclosure in the fact that it's really kind of like wide and open. We'll also try to make the environment look pretty similar to Madagascar 66 million years ago, in large part based off of a prehistoric planet as well as various pieces of artwork that depict Majungasaurus. But as per usual, we will use rocks to make the enclosure. I just like the way the I just like the way that it looks. I've been to a lot of zoos where they have enclosures that are essentially just made out of like fake rock. Makes it feel very naturalistic, and it just makes it feel like a real enclosure in my mind. Actually, one thing that I would also like to try is maybe do a moat. We can do a moat to separate the Majungasaurs from everybody else. That's also always really fun to do. So we can have like water going over here, right? Kind of smooth it out a little bit, try to anyway. And you can look across and there'll be some Majungasaurs just existing over there. Make it a little bit more thin, kind of like that. And I guess we could just really make this another grand enclosure, because why not, So we can have that moat right there. And then what we can also do is maybe I could fill in some water over here. And then we can also build a waterfall. So waterfalls are always really fun to do. Kind of like that, right? That looks pretty cool. And then I can also get... Is there any rock or anything that I can use? Rock. And then we can start using some rocks. Try to get some rocks that are as close to that color as we can do. Just kind of make this look very cliffy, very mountainy. Also make it look like the water is coming from somewhere. There we go. It's already looking pretty nice. I like how it's all tucked in over here too. It's very nice. Now what I want is a lot of this sand. The sand looks pretty darn good, man. I like it. I really, it's unfortunate that I wasn't really able to do Mesozoic Media Park on this map. The reason why I didn't is because there's no snow on this map, and I knew that at some point I would want to use snow. I just wish that you had access to all of the environment painting brushes on every single map. That just makes sense to me, but that's not how it is. That's not how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Okay, now I also want to make it so that we have some hills as well, a few places. Make it sort of uneven. We can also continue the rocks over here. Okay, I'm liking the way that it looks. And the very nice part about a lot of this is that, of course, the Majungasaurs will not be able to swim across here, so it's a nice little barrier. Of course, I'll still add a fence, but like a low fence, Actually, what I could do is I could still just make this enclosed with mostly rocks, I suppose. That way there's not like a too huge of an area for people to look in, and the Majungasaurs have an option to hide a little bit. Like this little area right here is where you'll be able to look into it. And then as far as the fences go, I think we'll do something like this. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. So that's the fence, and then we also need to fill in the rest of the enclosure. Now, I would like some lushness to it. Like there's a decent amount of vegetation. Sometimes you might not even get the chance to see the Majungasaurs because they're just hidden. That's my goal here. Something kind of similar to this, with some paths that lead to the water that show that they go, they come down to get a drink. So like if we do it like this with small patches all over the place, but with these pathways kind of breaking it up a little bit. Like that as well. And then I guess like over here too. And then expand it over here as well. There you go. And then there's like some, again, there's some pathways. In fact, I could probably paint it with a different brush to make it seem like they travel through there a lot. Like maybe with the beach to make it seem like it's worn down a little bit. Actually, one of these paths could probably lead to a cave. Yeah, why don't we get a cave in here? Like, who doesn't like caves? Majungasaurus caves, those are cool. Nice little place for them to have a shelter, I suppose. Awesome, awesome, awesome. On top of that, more rocks, I'm sure, will suffice if we, you know, just kind of dress it up a little bit. Place them randomly all over the place. We'll make this little rock platform thing right here because I think it looks kind of neat. And then I'll also do something similar to this, just to make it look like there's some rock buried underneath that's just kind of being exposed a little bit. You know, break up these colors just a tiny little bit. Yeah, I quite like how this enclosure turned out, and this is just like an added bonus, I suppose. Yeah, what do you guys think? I'm quite happy with it. Let's see what it looks like from the ground. Ooh, that is so cool. Imagine seeing a Majungasaurus just walking over there. That'd be awesome. Okay, so on that note, let's go ahead and get some Majungasaurs in here. We're gonna get 2 of them, a male and the female, and we're gonna make it so they can breed as well, so that we can see the adorable baby Majungasaurus, which is very important. As far as the colors go, I'm just gonna do random per egg, honestly. I'm not really attached to any coloration, although that is a pretty cool male coloration right there. Which female would we like? Okay, let's get them going. Okay, so there it is. There's one of them over there. The other one's being dropped off right now. I like how this turned out. I really do. I think that this is really cool. Got to get those very nice cinematic shots, you know. And then there's the female right here, just walking through their landscape. I like it. I really do like it. I think this is a pretty nice enclosure for them. So on that note, we need to get the nest in here so that we can get get a baby Majungasaurus. Medium-sized nesting area? No. Large nesting area? Yeah. Okay. So where am I going to put this? I kind of want it to be, well, there's always the cave. Let's just put it in the cave. In fact, just like how they did in the thing, I noticed in the Majungasaurus footage, they put bones like around that, which I think that's a fun idea. So let's just do it. Like, let's just put some bones in the cave. Yeah, look at all those bones. Look at this animation. Oh, pushed him, or pushed her, sorry. Yeah, I really do like how they, like, sexual dimorphism is present with these guys. Like, the male here has a little bit more of a pronounced horn-like structure on top of his head, which I think is very cool. The female is a little bit more reduced, yet it is still present, which is awesome. I like the Majungasaurus from this game. The arms do bug me. They are, like, traditional theropod arms that would make sense, but Abelisaurids didn't have, like most Abelisaurids didn't have arms like that. They would have basically lacked elbows. So you see this elbow right here? It would have not been there on the real animal. Weirdo. Anyway, so yeah, you guys need to do something. You guys need to get a baby. Okay, I had to move it because I guess their territory didn't expand into the cave. So unfortunately, the cave is just going to remain a cave of bones, which is fine. But the nest is now over here. We might as well dress it up a little bit over here as well. Make it look like a proper little separated area. I'm getting carried away, and I'm like making another cave. There we go. There's like a little secret cave over here now. They can rest in there, hide from the viewing eye of the public. There's a lot of places for them to hide, honestly. I like this enclosure. I like how this turned out. I'm really quite happy with it. Have you guys reproduced yet? Yes, it's been claimed. Good job. Awesome. Okay. Now we just play the waiting game. New dinosaur eggs have been found in the nesting area. We got 3.5 minutes right now, except it's a little bit faster, so it's a little bit less than that. We got three eggs. Really? 3 little eggs. Just hear Dad thumping around behind me while I'm doing this. Come on, babies. Hatch. 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 I beg of you. There they are. I love them so much, man. The baby Majungasaurs, they are just flat out adorable. Like I seriously do love their how robust their skeletons are compared to the adults. I love the giant eyes. The osteoderms are a bit, I mean, like I'm not a big fan of just putting osteoderms on every single dinosaur, which yeah, by the way, it's not too likely that Majungasaurus and other abelisaurids had osteoderms. Um, we've found a decent amount of specimens for Majungasaurus specifically, and we haven't found a single osteoderm, which is pretty telling overall. But what we have found on Carnotaurus anyway was feature scales, which are these large scales that were dotted all across the body. There's a good chance that other abelisaurids like Majungasaurus had that, but these look like osteoderms. I'm just see that those are almost definitely osteoderms present right there. Anyway, but it's a very good design. Oh, and I wanted to see the arms. The arms looked a little bit more accurate in the trailer. No, no. Yeah, no, Abelosaurid arms were extremely reduced. Like, they almost just looked like wrists, just attached to the body, which is so strange. Abelosaurids are such strange animals, but that's why we love them, because they're strange. I still really like these models, though. I think that they're really fantastic. And the babies just look fan-flippin-tastic in general. Where'd they go? Babies? Babies! 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 Baby, look at them go! Look at them go! Look at them go! They're chasing each other! He bit him on the butt. Get him. You gonna take that from him? Look at them go. Oh, I love it. I love it. You guys are going to stay babies forever. I have to make sure I turn that off. Now they will never grow up. They will always be little baby Majungasaurs. Look how cute they are, though. Look at him just follow his papa. This is so cute. Oh, man, I love it. I seriously, I'm really glad that Majungasaurus is back. I like this enclosure, too. I think it turned out pretty nice. This is probably one of my favorite enclosures that I've done so far. And also, I kind of like how I surrounded it with water. A little bit of a reference to the fact that Majungasaurus lived on Madagascar, which, of course, is an island. So, yeah, nice little reference to that. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have for this one today. Thank you all so much for watching, and have an awesome day.